This is the darkest stain on British history ever. We have allowed an invading army to come into our country and make their way through it.
Tommy Robinson raises new questions about Keir Starmer's recent decisions. All right, take a breath, because what unfolded today is the kind of political moment that makes people sit forward, grab their phones, and say, "Wait, what did I just hear?" You're not going to believe how fast this blew up. While the news cycle was busy chasing the latest headlines, something else was brewing in the background, something with enough heat, enough tension, and enough public interest to set off a storm on social media. And at the center of that storm, once again, is Tommy Robinson. Today, he dropped a new statement that's already causing debates, reactions, and a lot of raised eyebrows because he directly challenged the choices, the direction, and the transparency of UK Labour leader Keir Starmer. No accusations, no claims of scandal, but a sharp spotlight on decisions that many people were already questioning. And the way Robinson framed it, well, that's what got people talking. Let's get into it. So here's the moment that kicked everything off. Earlier today, during a live stream, Tommy Robinson voiced concerns about what he described as key decisions that the public deserves clearer explanations for. He didn't call it a scandal. He didn't label it corruption. But he did suggest that there are decisions being made behind closed doors, decisions that, in his view, should be discussed more openly. And that one line, just that line, lit up the entire conversation. Why? Because people already feel like leaders across Europe, not just in the UK, are distancing themselves from the public. Whether it's South Africa, Kenya, the US, or Britain, citizens everywhere are beginning to ask the same question. Are we being told everything or just what is convenient? That's the energy Robinson tapped into. He pointed specifically to policies that appear to shift direction quickly, changes that feel sudden, and explanations that don't always satisfy the public. Nothing illegal. Just political pressure coming from someone who knows how to get a reaction. Now, here's why this grabbed attention so fast. Keir Starmer is under one of the most intense political spotlights in the UK right now. Elections are approaching, trust in government globally is shaky, and every political figure knows that public opinion can flip in an instant. So when Tommy Robinson, one of the UK's most outspoken commentators, implies that Starmer isn't being fully transparent in his reasoning, people listen, whether they agree with him or not. And Robinson didn't stop there. He linked his concerns to something bigger, what he called a pattern of decisions that feel disconnected from ordinary people. That line became the quote of the day, because it hit a nerve. Across social media, across news platforms, across political forums, people were already discussing whether political leaders are drifting too far from everyday frustrations, rising costs, public services, cultural pressures, economic uncertainty. Robinson simply put his finger on the pressure point. By the time the clip circulated for the first hour, comments were everywhere. One user wrote, "This is exactly why people don't trust politicians anymore. They want clarity, not confusion." Another comment said, "Whether you like Tommy or not, the questions he raised are real questions. And they deserve real answers." And it didn't stop with the public. A former Labour staffer, quoted by a local political blog, reportedly said, "The timing couldn't be worse. People are already sensitive about consistency and communication. This is going to spark deeper scrutiny." Even political analysts chimed in. One columnist put it bluntly, "When public trust is shaky, even small doubts can become big waves." Robinson has a loyal audience. Starmer has critics waiting for any opening. This was bound to blow up. Nothing defamatory. Nothing inflammatory. Just the natural consequence of political pressure mixing with public frustration. Here's the thing that's making analysts pay attention. This story isn't about Tommy Robinson. It isn't even entirely about Keir Starmer. It's about the climate we're in. Around the world, citizens are questioning political decision-making more intensely than ever before. People want clear answers, accessible explanations, and consistent leadership. And when they feel like they're not getting that, voices like Robinson's get amplified. Even if you disagree with everything he stands for, his influence is undeniable. And when he highlights moments where communication feels murky or abrupt, it forces leaders to respond or risk the narrative taking on a life of its own. This is the part no one can predict. Will Keir Starmer address the concerns directly? Will Labour spokespeople issue clarifications? Will the media take up the questions Robinson raised and push them further? Political insiders believe something will happen because the pressure is now public, loud, and spreading fast. One strategist said privately, "If Starmer doesn't get ahead of the story, others will shape it for him." And that's the real issue. In modern politics, silence is never neutral. Silence becomes a story of its own. At the end of the day, Robinson didn't accuse Starmer of wrongdoing. He didn't present scandal. He didn't push conspiracy. He simply said, "The public deserves clearer answers." And now, millions are asking the same thing. So the big question becomes, if this is only the beginning of deeper scrutiny, how much more pressure will political leaders face in the months ahead? That's what everyone is watching right now. And whatever happens next, you're going to want to hear it.